Hey guys, welcome back to another pick a card reading. So today I just wanted to do like a kind of a shorter reading, just like an encouraging message that you need to know or need to hear. I don't have many cards in each pile. I kind of wanted this reading to be a little bit shorter. We'll see how that goes. Go ahead and choose whichever pile you're most drawn to get your message. It's kind of like, I guess, a bit of like a mystery reading. You don't really know what's going to come through in the cards. Just we know that it's going to be some sort of encouraging message. So, yeah, go ahead and choose your pile, and I'll see you in your reading. Just a little ramble from me. I've really been wanting to do this reading for a while, so I finally got the opportunity to do the reading and have some alone time, some privacy, and some space to do it. I'm very excited to do this reading, and hopefully they're messages that you are needing to hear. So yeah, go ahead and choose your pile, and I'll see you in your reading. Okay, pile 1. Welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this apophyllite stone or crystal. I think number 3 and number 5 also have apophyllite crystals. So anyways, let's take a look at your cards and see like what message wants to come through, just as kind of like an encouraging message for you. So let's see, you have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, and then the 6 of Wands. So this one, if you listen to the beginning, like the little intro, I've been waiting to do this reading for a while. So I've had these piles shuffled out for maybe like a week or almost a week. So I don't have like the best memory of the piles, which is kind of fun for me because, I get to kind of see them at the same time as you. So we have the 8 of Cups. Okay, so obviously, well, I would say like the most encouraging part of this message is the 6 of Wands coming out. So that talks about like this feeling of being noticed, maybe being popular, being chosen, wanting to be like chosen by many. Because the 6 of Wands can indicate this feeling of success. And yeah, like I guess being recognized, feeling popular. Sometimes the 6 of Wands could be this like energy of being highly desired. It could be that, I don't know, possibly the encouraging message might be that there's a lot of kind of secret admirers that you might have that you might not be aware of. And maybe that's more of like a future energy though, because it's interesting. We have the 6 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is a card of walking away, and I always talk about this. So if you've seen my videos, you've heard me say this. If you've seen the 8 of Cups come out in any of my readings, Cups is about our emotions, and so the 8 of Cups is like this feeling like you still kind of feel emotionally attached to something. It could be a person, it could be a situation. I think for most of you this might be about a person. And it's this feeling like you need to walk away from something, although you kind of wish you didn't. So, I mean, that doesn't sound like an encouraging message, but I think actually there might be some sort of advice coming through to make sure that you're kind of paying close attention to who is giving back equally in connections, because the 6 of Pentacles is about exchange of something. Like, and in this case, I think it's like kind of saying that there might be people around you right now that kind of are just more of takers rather than giving as much as you do. And I think there's a message coming through that when you walk away from connections that leave you empty handed, like you're the one who's giving, you're not receiving much back or anything back. I think you're moving towards connections that give equally, and they make you feel seen, they make you feel valued, they make you feel like you're important. Um, and yeah, for some of you, probably not most of you, but I think for some of you, this has more to do with situations rather than people specifically. Like, this could be, like, if we're talking about work or something like that, that could be, walking away from, I guess, jobs or job opportunities that aren't giving enough. And I think this is kind of implying that if you're doing that, you will see success coming your way. Um, yeah, this could be a job that finally values you and like compliments you and recognizes the effort that you put in. Same with relationships. So I took songs for this reading. Um, just randomly or shuffled random songs from my playlist. So yours. You have. Okay, so the first song that came out for you, I don't know, maybe I might not pronounce this right. Iro? I think it would be like Iro, by Sun. It's just like an instrumental song. Um, in past readings, I decided to kind of like, um, kind of just like if like a instrumental song came up for a reading, I kind of like feel bad because there's not many lyrics or any lyrics, and I kind of feel like I usually want to give another song. So you guys have two songs. I did leave in past readings, I kind of like didn't leave in instrumental songs just because I felt like they were kind of pointless and maybe people weren't interested. Um but I did have someone say that they do like instrumental music, so I did keep it just in case you want to go listen. I do think it has meaning though. The other song that came up for you is Fed Up by Ghostmane. It's kind of like an edgy, darker song. So like, yeah, no, this actually makes perfect sense. Especially those of you who this is about, like relationships. Um, I mean, the song is called Fed Up, so you can kind of guess what the song is about. But he's singing that he's fed up with, basically all these things. Fed up with fake love, fed up with drugs, fed up with, I mean, those are the two I can think of off the top of my head. But like being fed up with a situation, and I would assume it's like, for some of you, it could be a kind of like a fake love. Even if it's not a romantic connection, it's like fake relationships. Um, Relationships that aren't built on genuine connection. Uh, and I kind of got the sense that like there's like it feels like a big contrast between the first song that was shuffled out for you and then the second song that was shuffled out for you. And something that just popped into my mind, I kind of got like a new sort of insight about what that means to me. But originally what I was thinking was this sort of like chaotic energy, kind of darker, more negative energy in the song Fed Up. I thought it was more like you'll be moving into a more peaceful energy, because the song Iro, so peaceful sounding, so like relaxing to listen to. So I do feel like for some of you, like being fed up with relationships that aren't equally giving or situations that aren't equally giving back, moving away from those situations, it only leaves you with more opportunities to find people and situations that do kind of honor your effort and your presence. The other thing that I was just thinking, because Ira was the first song that shuffled out for you, and Fed Up was next. So if I'm kind of looking at it in like, I guess, a chronological order, This could kind of tell me that you've been keeping the peace when that's kind of unnecessary in this situation. Like, kind of like allowing people to treat you unfairly, in some way, making you like trying to reassure you that this is okay. Like, I'm okay with this. Like, I can make peace with the fact that maybe people are not able to give as much as I am in connections, or this kind of like making peace with the fact that this job isn't able to provide for me as much, or, or doesn't recognize my effort or something like that. Those types of things. This could kind of imply that at some point in the future, you're going to kind of hit a breaking point where you do feel fed up with these people or these situations, which kind of gives you that strength to kind of move on and walk away. So overall, I mean, I'm going to pull some magical messages from the universe just to kind of end the reading off on like a couple extra messages that want to come through for your pile. But yeah, I do want to reassure you that this is going to be something that benefits you in the long run. Like, the more you recognize these things, like, just pay attention to who seems genuine, who's giving back, situations that uplift you as much as you're willing to do that for another person, or I don't know, for a job or something like that. If you realize that you're the one who's doing most of the work, being brave enough to walk away, first of all, it shows you that you know your worth. You're not worth breadcrumbs. You're not worth half-assed effort or energy. Again, it like brings this space to pull in new opportunities that can recognize your worth. I also think, not that I think anyone should be using this as like a tactic to get someone to be like interested in them, but there is kind of this message here that like it's possible you'll end up walking away from connections that don't seem to value you as much as you would like. And those people will suddenly kind of want more of your attention, like after you've walked away, because they're no longer getting what they wanted from you or something like that. So that's kind of what's coming through from these cards, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm going to just shuffle out some last few messages for you, just to kind of, end your reading off with these messages. So what does pile 1 need to know? Oh, gosh. Okay, I'll take them. I pretty much never take cards that flip out together. To me, it just doesn't seem right. But let's see. We have romanticize your life like it's your special film. Walk, whoa, with a soundtrack and everything. Notice the magic. Then we also have spirit is always whispering in signs, synchronicities, intuition, sacred secrets just for you. Are you listening? So yeah, I do feel like there's an energy here where it's like the cards are kind of asking you to pay closer attention to something. Take notes, I guess, of, how you feel around certain people, and if they, again, kind of leave you empty-handed more often than not. Okay, what else does pile 1 need to know? Okay, we have the bravery and curiosity it takes to dance gracefully with change. Chaos can be transformative. Yes, I definitely feel like there's a message here for many of you that, like, whatever chaos might be going on in your life, whether that's, around relationships, a situation, or like it possibly work with the 6 of Pentacles here. There is an energy of transformation away from chaos. but I do think it takes kind of like detaching emotionally from, again, like a person or a situation, and having the bravery and curiosity to walk away. Like the Eight of Cups is about change, it's about walking away. It's a transition of sorts, and yeah, that's what it says there. Have the bravery and curiosity it takes to dance gracefully with change. For some of you, it might be that there was like kind of like, yeah, like a stubbornness, and maybe not so much of like, I guess, a stubbornness, but more so like being too nice, making excuses. Like with the, again, with the song Iro, it's like very peaceful energy, and the fact that came out kind of before this chaotic song, it's almost like, again, like accepting a situation that maybe it's like you shouldn't have been, and having too much tolerance for, I guess, bullshit, like and yeah, because the energy of fed up is so like, uh I guess basically it seems like you're going to be realizing which situations are not worth your effort, or which people is not worth your effort, and kind of moving on, embracing change, letting go, and then finding connections or situations that bring you this feeling of happiness and recognition, success, popularity, being noticed, feeling valued. So that is something that's coming your way. But I do feel like there's like a transition, and it might take, effort to kind of like be brave enough to walk away from like certain, people and situations. But that's basically your message, pile one. I hope it, I don't know if I'm honestly the best at doing, I guess, encouraging messages. So hopefully, you did feel in some way a little bit encouraged by this reading. That was my intention, but if not, I'm very sorry. But thank you for watching, and that's it from me. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next pile. Bye. Alright, pile two. Welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this malachite stone crystal. Honestly, I don't know how well you can see it. I don't really have the lights on in the room. I just have this like window right in front of me, so who knows how well you can see it. But I must say, this is like one of my most like prized possessions when it comes to my rock collection. Maybe this side looks more interesting. You see that shine? That's beautiful. I always kind of thought like malachite never looked appealing to me when it was polished, until I saw like this like velvety raw version of malachite. I was like instantly in love. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces. Anyways, so let's see. What's your encouraging message? So yeah, let's see. Okay, we get the 10 of Cups. That's good. Yeah, like I said, I mentioned a pile one, and if you skip the intro, I've been waiting to do this reading for a while, so I've had these piles shuffled out for a little bit, and I kind of forgot what was in each pile. We have the King of Swords. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the Sun. Alright. Wow, that seems lovely. Okay, well that's interesting, since we do have like masculine energy coming out with the King of Swords and the Sun. Yeah, this could be kind of like encouraging message about a masculine figure in your life. They could be an air sign. Aries, oh, whoa, not Aries, but I guess maybe Aries could be involved for some of you. But yeah, I was going to say Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. And then we also have Leo with the Sun here. Yeah, I mean, okay, I think this is obviously about a person for you. This could imply that, A relationship with someone is looking good. There's a lot of happiness when it comes to a relationship with someone. The King of Swords could represent someone who's more logical, a little bit less like a feeling or like expressing of the emotions. It's a more like intellectual energy. It is a mature energy since it's the King of Swords. This could be someone who's a little bit more self-contained, like doesn't always reveal again their emotions. Um, And usually, I guess, when the King of Swords comes up in a reading, I feel like, especially when it comes to like relationship type readings, it could suggest someone who's kind of good at, like, I guess, hiding their feelings or not revealing their feelings, or they might not be the most like open or vocal with their feelings. So, I don't know, with this sun, like, kind of brings this energy of illumination. Um, Obviously like happiness, positivity. This seems like good news coming your way regarding a relationship. And again, like this could be someone who's normally not very open with their emotions or their feelings. It's possible with the 10 of Cups that a person like that is becoming more open to expressing their emotions or expressing their feelings. Um, like there's a good emotional connection between you and another person. Again, possibly like a masculine energy. Um, for some of you, the King of Swords could also represent you. And to me, like, again, the King of Swords is like maybe a more serious type, someone who's a deep thinker, someone who's very smart. So like it makes me think of like the mind, mental energy, and someone who's very much usually thinking deeply about things, maybe trying to know more about things, and kind of I guess maybe just an energy representing very much being in the mind. So with like the sun coming out representing like these positive emotions, it's possible if you felt a little bit like flatlined within your emotions, like maybe a little bit numb within your emotions, that could be something that's kind of changing. Like there's reasons to smile, there's reasons to laugh, there's reasons to have fun. Again, connections looking very good. This again could be like some sort of really like positive energy coming into your connections. So yeah, I think that's basically like what I get from these cards. I did shuffle songs for this reading, so let's take a look at what song you got. Okay, so pile one had this happen. They got two songs because the first song that showed up for them was like an instrumental song with no lyrics. And I always kind of feel bad taking just a song with no lyrics for, to serve as like additional messages. It's kind of like you don't really get any additional messages from those types of songs. Your first song that shuffled for you was Coco Bop by EXO. That's like a K-pop song, so it's in Korean. To be honest with you, I didn't bother to go look at the lyrics. I kind of just wanted to pull songs and just kind of like maybe read into it a little bit, but more so just kind of like leave it there as like additional messages in case any of you want to go check out those songs, which by the way, they will be linked in the description if you did want to go check them out. What I do think I know about Coco Bop though is I think I've seen someone talk about the song, like the English lyrics of the song, or they like kind of looked into the English lyrics, and I think, to be honest with you, and I could be wrong because I haven't looked at the lyrics myself, I think it is like a song that is quite sexual, to be honest. Which is interesting considering the other song you got is What I Got by Sublime. And that's I feel like a much more like well-known song that more of you probably know about. And it's just a song about like, he's singing like love is what I got. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like this is about maybe a love relationship for you guys, like a love relationship looking good, very good news coming your way regarding a romantic relationship. Yeah, this could be feeling a lot, happier in your relationship. This could be a relationship blossoming. Yeah, just good energy within connections. So what I'm going to do to kind of end off your reading is just pull, I guess, like 3 magical messages from the universe. See what wants to come out for your group. So for pile 2, what do they need to know? Okay. Yeah, look at that. Love can never leave you. It simply shapeshifts and returns in different forms, seeking you. Yeah, that's. I feel like this is definitely about, for most of you, I would say it's about a love relationship. But for very few of you, I just think it's just very positive energy within your relationships, like platonic relationships, family relationships, any sort of relationship, really. Yeah, so what does pile 2 need to know? Okay, trust that when something ends, it isn't meant for you and in your next expansion. Keep rising. Okay, interesting. So, what message wants to come through for pile 2? I don't know, like, I guess the way your cards flipped out, like they're like jumping out, and I don't know, and maybe like with the sun. So something that I guess I missed with the sun, like that's coming your way, is this feeling of like a lot of energy, feeling energetic, like it definitely reminds me of this like loving feeling where maybe you find out that the person you're crushing on has a crush on you as well. And then it just makes like the most boring tasks in your life like actually fun. So like having a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, because something is fueling that and like making you feel so positive and happy. So we have an open mind is a portal to a different reality. Infinite possibilities are all around you. So it's kind of interesting here that we have love can never leave you. It simply shapeshifts and returns in different forms, seeking you. And then we also have trust that when something ends, it isn't meant for you in your next expansion. Keep rising. I don't know. I don't feel as though... Like, for some of you, what this could be saying is obviously, like, I guess, like a more King of Swords character. Like, someone who isn't very open with their feelings or is a more serious type, something like that. And maybe this is someone who's in some way disappointed you. It is possible for some of you that that's not who we're talking about. If you cannot imagine this person being more open with their emotions, more open with their feelings, connecting with you on a deeper level, then it's possible that that's something that is kind of meant to end, and you're meant to kind of expand towards new connections that, and this would be a connection that's heading towards you that makes you feel renewed. We do have a baby on the sun, so it does make me think of like you feel... Yeah, I guess that makes sense with the sun, like with, this energy of like having more vitality, feeling energetic, feeling motivated. It's like feeling fresh. And it makes me feel as though for some of you, the message that's coming through is like, it kind of like almost proves something wrong to you, as in like if you felt like no one's ever going to treat you right, no one's ever going to open up to you, or you just keep connecting with people who are like emotionally closed off. I feel like there's a new connection coming in that shows you that that's not all that's out there, that you can have a connection possibly with someone that you connect with on an intellectual level who is also like emotionally vulnerable, emotionally open, emotionally available. Yeah, I think that could be the case for some of you, but for others of you, I think there might have been like some difficulty in a connection recently. Um, and with this, like, trust that when something ends, it isn't meant for you and your next expansion. Keep rising. For some of you, that could literally be a person. For others of you, I think it's more so like an energy with a person that is kind of ending so that you can have a deeper connection, a more open connection emotionally. Yeah, because like the reason why I think that for some of you it's not a person that, you know, isn't meant for you. This could be someone who is meant for you, but there's an energy in the connection that I guess needs to end. Just because it says, you know, love can never leave you. It simply shapeshifts and returns in different forms, seeking you. So I feel like that makes me think that like problems within connections could be worked out. Again, like this feeling of more positive energy coming into your connections overall. So that's basically your message, pile 2. I hope that it, well, I guess for some of you, you may not know exactly if it does resonate because this might be like more of a future thing that's coming your way. But basically, I hope that it did encourage you in some way. I do feel like this reading was easier to kind of talk about in a way that's very encouraging versus the last pile. So I kind of feel like I apologize to the last pile. It didn't really hit the way I wanted it to, in my opinion. But I hope this did. I hope it encouraged you. And thank you for watching. And I'd love to have you back for a future reading. But that's it from me. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next pile. Bye. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this apophyllite crystal. So let's take a look at your cards and see what sort of encouraging message wants to come through for you. Okay, so this is the pile. So we have the 5 of Wands. And we have the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Wands. So pile 1 and pile 2 is kind of a surprise to me because I did shuffle out these piles a while ago. Yours was one of the ones that did stick out to me, and I did remember this pile. Kind of interesting to get a 5 of Wands energy coming out as an encouraging message. So we have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. Kind of what I feel for most of you. It's like you might be dealing with people who are like immature. You might be dealing with people who are immature. Since the pages represent like a young energy, a more immature energy. For some of you, what it could be is that there is someone that is, I guess, your age. Since we do have 2 pages, one of those pages could represent you. I don't know, and I don't know. I feel like even if you are, you know, maybe dealing with some level of like fighting, immaturity, I don't know, I would have to think that like the Page of Wands represents the person who's trying to fight or something like that, because of the passion or whatever. And then the Page of Pentacles would be this, I guess, like even if they are young, like more mature energy, someone who's like more responsible, thinks more of like the long term or something like that. So I kind of want to say that's like, I guess, representing you in this situation. Otherwise, like maybe you're dealing with like 2 or more, like, I guess, immature types of people. Just because we have this 5 of Wands energy, like fighting, not agreeing with someone, could be drama. So I kind of feel as though for some of you, the message that's coming through could be to kind of like stand up for yourself. Like this could be an energy of people who are picking on you or something like that, and standing up for yourself, not allowing that type of energy. Um, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like there's an energy here suggesting that you should stand up for yourself. And this reading is kind of meant to encourage you to maybe voice your opinion, stand up for yourself, speak your mind, even if that's disagreeing with someone else. If that doesn't resonate with you, I guess you're sure you're in the right pile. Another way I feel like I could read this energy is like sometimes the Five of Wands is more about like an internal conflict rather than conflict with people around you. So with the Page of Pentacles coming out with the Page of Wands, like this could represent you and your energy and you kind of like starting something new. Like this is a new idea that you have. For some of you, like this would be like a business idea that you have that you're very passionate about. The Page of Wands does represent a lot of passion and kind of like moving towards new things with a lot of passion. And then I guess like the Page of Pentacles to me again is that more like committed energy, that sturdy energy, because the Page of Wands can be more like testing things out, kind of flighty. I'm not really sure if I'll stick with this. So I don't know. I feel like the message for some of you could be that you have a good idea that, you know, you're serious about and you have a lot of passion for, but maybe there's a lot of, I guess, internal conflict surrounding whatever that is. And that could be I think the message that comes through that's trying to encourage you is to reassure you that you are new at this or beginning. So things won't be perfect. You're going to have to learn new things. And I think overall, like if you feel very passionate about something that you're wanting to pursue, this is kind of suggesting that you don't give up. You keep fighting for it. And if you are experiencing a lot of like sort of internal conflict, it might be around, I guess, this feeling that you're not sure about something, whether something will last or whether you'll stay committed to something. But I don't know. I guess like I feel like there's an energy here saying like, stand up for yourself, fight for what you want. And don't be afraid to start at level 1. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's part of the learning process. And don't feel like when things aren't going right that this is something that's, I guess, not meant for you. Because I feel like that could be, for some of you, like this internal conflict. And I feel as though the message is encouraging you to keep going, to keep fighting. And kind of the same for like, maybe if you're dealing with a situation with a person where you're having a lot of conflict with them, I feel like this energy is encouraging you to stand up for yourself, to speak your mind, even if others might not agree with you. Okay, so let's take a look at the song that was shuffled for your pile. So you have, yeah, pile 3, let's see. Okay, we have Crave You by Brittany Paiva. I think that might be how it's pronounced. So you can go ahead and check out the song in the description. There's links. I don't know. I wasn't thinking that. Okay, so this is interesting considering the song and like the lyrics in the song. Most of what I can like think of at this time and like remember about the song is like she's singing why don't you love me like the other boys do? They stare at me while I stare at you. Which is, I guess, interesting since the Five of Wands can represent like competition. Like, I guess if like it's like a love competition type of thing. Sorry, I need to think about this. This one's like one of this is kind of why I've had this reading in particular like stuck in my mind, because I'm like, okay, it's an encouraging message and we get the Five of Wands. So I do feel like it's about standing up for yourself. But maybe it's not putting up with like competition when it comes to romantic connections. Like, if you're gonna have to compete for someone's attention, maybe you just don't really want to have to do that. Like, you shouldn't have to compete for someone's attention. If it's a genuine connection, both people will just be interested. So yeah, I don't know, for some of you this might have to do with love and kind of like standing up for yourself in love, not putting up with immature energies when it comes to love. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this song there. Maybe there's like specific messages for specific people in this pile. I'm not gonna go too deeper on that. But I'm gonna shuffle some last few cards. Just some oracle messages, magical messages from the universe, and we'll see what comes out for you guys. So for pile 3, what does pile 3 need to hear? Okay, so we have, how will you know how beautiful your wings are if you never give them space to grow? What does pile 3 need to hear? Yeah, because, so for some of you, like, because what this card makes me think of is more of like, you have passion towards something. Like with crave you, maybe it's you're not craving a person, but you're craving like going after something, pursuing something, like a new job or like a new project, some sort of idea, some sort of thing that you're wanting to start. And I think the page energy suggests, again, being new at something, being a beginner at something. And there's something here like, don't be afraid to, again, start at level 1. Don't be afraid to be a beginner, because everybody starts at level 1 when they start learning something. And like with the Five of Wands, to me, like that could be a feeling of frustration. And so, okay, so I think a message that's coming through is like, again, don't give up. When you're new at something, expect to fail a little bit. Like, don't expect for everything to go wrong, but you are going to fail at some point. Maybe that doesn't sound very encouraging, but like, that is part of the process. And when it's saying, like, how will you know how beautiful your wings are if you never give them space to grow? It's like, I don't know, I guess thinking of this more like metaphorically, if that makes sense. Like a caterpillar, like it's not an easy process for them to grow those wings. Part of the process might feel intimidating, it might feel scary. Changes are happening or something like that. But I just kind of feel like there might be, you might have been dealing with like being new at something and learning something and feeling frustrated that you're new at it. Like you should be further along than you are or something like that. And it almost makes me think like there might have been an energy within you that is willing to give up too early because things get difficult or things feel frustrating. And I think this message is here to encourage you that is part of the process, and don't fear that. That is like what helps you grow. And I don't know, I feel as though you're this message is kind of like telling you that you will be successful and you can have success, but you need to like stay committed and don't be, deterred by challenges. That's part of the process. It's normal. And it doesn't mean that you're a failure or you're not destined to be successful at whatever this is. So let's see. We have trust that you are always evolving into who you're meant to be, more free, true, and you. Yeah, there's a lot of like talk about evolution, evolving, and that is never going to happen if you give up too easily or if you walk away because things become challenging. That challenge is there to kind of show you that you are growing. And I also kind of get this idea or like this feeling of like imposter syndrome. Like if you are trying to start a business or start something that you want to like, build upon and like remain committed to, trust that it is meant for you. Again, and to understand that just because challenges come up it's not meant to deter you. It's meant for your growth. So again, this message is here to encourage you to keep going. Don't give up. You are new, so expect to make mistakes, expect challenges, expect to feel a little bit frustrated, but don't take that as signs that this is not meant for you and like you're pursuing something that is, I guess not meant to work or something like that. What does pile 3 need to hear? Okay. Yeah, so we have no, you don't break that easily anymore. Instead, yeah, exactly. For real. Yeah, instead you use things as fuel like an alchemist. Yeah, so it's like not being afraid of like, yeah, because this is literally the energy of giving up and like throwing in the towel. It's like no, this has gotten too difficult. This has gotten too frustrating. There's a lot of like possibly internal conflict around whatever this is. Yeah, and for some of you, again, it doesn't like for some of you, it could be dealing with like again like more immature energies and like drama and fighting with like I guess immature people or energies, and it's like maybe these people really used to get under your skin or get to you or like there's like a lot of like a big sort of emotional reaction to these people, and you're finding that in the future they don't hold power over you in the same way, that you are strong, and yeah, I guess like you don't break that easily anymore, so like these things don't phase you. And perhaps like in some way it will empower you to, I don't know, there's like a sense of like knowing your worth and kind of like feeling more confident in yourself, knowing who you are, and not letting like I guess immature people make you feel differently, make you question who you are. Um, and it's kind of like again like I guess using like an I guess negative situation as what it says here, like instead you use these things as fuel. Maybe like instead it motivates you in some way. um, and yeah, I don't know, I do feel like there's a lot of motivation coming your way. There's an energy to stand up for yourself, to expect challenges but don't give up. Don't let challenges deter you from your commitment to what you want, and to know that this is something that is meant for you, and to don't give in to like imposter syndrome sort of thoughts that like, oh, because it's challenging, then this must mean that the universe is trying to take me in a different direction. No, that is not what this is saying. It is saying to continue, to stay committed, to stand up for yourself, to fight for what you want in this situation. And yeah, that's basically your message, pile 3. So I hope it was encouraging for you. Thank you for watching, and I'm sorry if you are dealing with like this sort of internal conflict, or even dealing with like, I guess, more immature types of people around you. I do think in the future it won't get to you in the same way that it has. It won't phase you, and it might even fuel your motivation for something better. So that's your message, pile 3. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next pile. Bye. Pile 4. Just look how beautifully that labradorite shines in your pile. It's like angled. It's such the perfect like angle. Okay, so this rock was like my first love. This definitely used to be. It's still one of my favorites in my collection, because to be honest, I have not seen many pieces of labradorite that are like this shiny and pretty. So yeah, this is definitely a favorite of mine. I'm pretty sure this was a gift. Oh no, another one was a gift. I did pick this one out. Okay, yeah, and then pile 2's stone, the malachite. That is my new favorite, my new love in my deck. But yeah, let's take a look at what wants to come through for you. What is the encouraging message for you guys, pile 4? Let's see. So we have the 7 of Wands. We have Justice. Got some Libra energy associated with Justice. We have the 8 of Wands. I don't know. Right off the bat, what I was thinking is like positive karma coming your way, and coming quite quickly with the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is a fast energy. It could be that there is communication coming your way, this feeling of like things speeding up, feeling excited about life, feeling like things are moving quite quickly. I don't know, for most, well, for some of you, I feel as though it's like, again, like positive karma coming in quite quickly for you. And it could be like with the 7 of Wands with Justice, it's like standing up for what you believe in. The 7 of Wands could be kind of like a defensive energy, fighting off, like kind of keeping your stance on something. So this could be that like perhaps like with the with the 8 of Wands like representing possibly like communication. This could be that you I don't know if for some of you this recently happened, or this will happen, or maybe even this is someone else close to you where this happens with them or something like that. But like I would say like the 7 of Wands is like standing up for what you believe in, standing up for what you think is right, even if other people are fighting you on it, or they don't they disagree with you, or they don't see your side of things. Like with Justice, this makes me feel like there's good intentions. There's like this energy of wanting to like maybe balance the scales. So yeah, like bringing justice to a situation. This could be something that you've done recently, or something that you will do in the near future, or something like that. Like especially if you see that as like part of your personality, to kind of stand up for justice, stand up for what you believe in, or stand up for what's right. Because like justice energy being associated with Libra, like it makes me think of like having a good judgment of things and being able to see more than one side. So it could be that there's people around you that only see things from one angle or one side, and there might be an energy of like stepping in to express like a more balanced perspective or something like that. For some of you, it's like there's an energy here reassuring you that even if there's people around you that want to fight you on it or disagree with you on it, don't see like your intentions behind something, I feel like if you are standing up for what you believe in and what you believe is right, and I think in this case this is a good thing, again, I kind of feel as though there's like a lot of positive karma coming back to you. I even think there might be an opportunity for other people to see your side of things. And once they see your side of things, like it does open up their mind and they're like, oh, okay. There might be people who suddenly agree with you or I guess kind of side with you. Yeah, I feel like that's really what I'm seeing. The Seven of Wands is also kind of a card of like persevering. And it could be that there's an energy here suggesting that if you persevere, possibly within a connection, that good communication will come your way. And it could be communication that brings some sort of understanding, again, balancing out a situation, so sharing a different perspective that makes things feel, I guess, more peaceful is what I'm getting. Let's take a look at your song that was shuffled for you. Oh, yeah, okay. I remember now. Okay, so you guys got WTH by Janae Aiko. And I guess really what WTH stands for is way too high, but I guess we could also think of it as like what the hell or what the heck. Yeah, I don't know. For some of you, it's like I feel like there might have been a situation. Again, this might have just recently happened, or this could be happening maybe in the near future or something like that. But like kind of looking at a situation going, what the hell? Like this is like either completely out of balance in some way, or it's like you needed to say something or you needed to stand up for yourself. It's funny because pile 3, their encouraging message was like to stand up for themselves. But like the way this energy comes out, like this almost feels like pile 3's reading after they listen to pile 3, and like this is the aftermath or something like that. I don't really actually feel that way. I just think it's pretty similar. Like it's kind of similar messages coming through, same as like pile 3. But for you guys, I don't know. I feel like this is like you have confidence in saying, like speaking your mind on something. And it's like kind of trying to balance the scales or bring justice to a situation and bring another perspective. And it does feel like perhaps your perspective is not appreciated at first and people kind of want to fight you, or they might even feel defensive with you, something like that. But I do feel, again, like there is positive karma coming your way from standing up for what you believe in. And I do feel like for some of you, there could be some people who kind of learn from you and see things from your perspective, and it is helpful. And I do feel like that's part of why there is like positive karma coming your way, because I do feel like if you are defensive about something and you stand up for yourself and speak up on something, even if people don't agree, with the Justice card, it does tell me your intentions are good. Like you have pure intentions. So I think when other people see that, and it might not be everybody, but I do feel like when people see that, they realize like you speak with like good intention. you bring justice to situations because you see what's wrong with the situation. And when people open up to your perspective, I do feel like it teaches them something. And it is like it brings positive energy into other people's lives, which I feel like, again, brings you positive karma for doing that. The other thing with WTH, the song, what I was thinking, like, to me, that's like a very deep song. So it makes me think that you think deeply on things and you consider things that other people missed or didn't even think about. Because you have such a deep perspective of things, or like you think very deeply about things, I feel like you're a very intelligent person. You're very deep, and to be honest, not many people are on that level. So it makes sense to me why there might be people who are like around you that are too shallow to see your perspective of things, which means that they might not be able to, like, they might fight you on what you think or something like that. But I don't know, I just feel like there is like this energy of like positive karma coming your way, peace within relationships, and people seeing things from your perspective. And it's like this energy of like, oh, I appreciate you for doing that. I appreciate you for saying that. I appreciate you for standing up for yourself, or standing up for that belief, because it taught me something. It showed me maybe like a better outlook or something like that. I also feel like there could be people around you who misjudge you. Like the song WTH gives me these vibes that for some of you, you lived like a very kind of challenging or difficult life. Like maybe things haven't always been easy for you, but like more for you than for other people. There's different levels of suffering in life, and some people unfortunately suffer more than others. And I feel like for some of you, it could resonate that you kind of really got, I guess, the short end of the stick when it comes to those things. Like you had a really rough childhood, or like a rough upbringing, very challenging, difficult situations or something, and that made you a deep thinker. So it is a gift. And I think part of this message is here to reassure you that not everybody is at that level. Not everybody thinks that deeply. And you are a very like deep person, which is, you know, able to see things from higher perspectives that other people can't. So yeah, I mean, that song is linked in the description if you want to go check it out. But I'm going to pull a few last cards for like more messages for you, what you need to know, what you need to hear. It's magical messages from the universe. So for pile 4, what do they need to know? What do they need to hear? Oh my gosh. Okay. It says, what if your mess is your magic? What if they're two sides of the same door? Yeah, so also, you know, with the justice energy being associated with Libra, which is like kind of a very peaceful zodiac sign, a lot of the times they get the like people pleaser sort of characteristic or whatever. So it's like wanting to keep the peace, wanting to be nice, having good intentions, having like a pure heart. And so for some of you, it may feel like quite uncomfortable to like stand up for your beliefs because you don't want fighting, you don't want like chaos, you don't want to make things messy. But, you know, it says here, what if your mess is your magic? What if they're two sides of the same door? And it does tell me that if you have recently or will end up standing up for a specific belief, you will realize that creating that, I guess, mess or conflict actually leads towards better things, specifically because you have good intentions. Like, if you had bad intentions, I think it would be a very different message. But because you stand up for the right things, I think, again, there's this energy of positive karma coming your way for doing that. Even if you were fearful of doing that, or fearful of stirring up trouble by speaking your mind and going against what other people think, something like that. What does pile 4 need to know? What does pile 4 need to hear? Oh, this came out in another pile. Trust that when something ends, it isn't meant for you and your next expansion. Keep rising. Yeah, that's interesting because I think that came out in pile 2. Yeah, pile 2. And this is interesting because I did mention pile 2 earlier of having like that malachite stone that is like my favorite like rock crystal in my collection. The reason why I bring that up is because their center energy was the King of Swords, which is also this very like intellectual energy. And to me, I think justice energy being like related to air signs in Libra, I think it represents having good judgment and being very, very smart. I also view justice energy as kind of being done with a situation, like putting an end to a situation, justice being served, so a situation being done with. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like this might be an energy about, again, standing up for yourself and what you believe in, and there might be, again, people around you that want to fight you on this or whatever, possibly you walking away from those types of connections. Yeah, and kind of like moving into more peaceful energy. This could be where, like, for some of you, you're really trying to convince somebody your point of view of something. And for some of you, this might mean that you're not going to be able to convince certain people. And I think you're going to make peace with that and be able to move on from trying to explain yourself, prove yourself, or get people to see things from your side. What does pile 4 need to hear? Sometimes the toughest moments carry the most potent seeds of transformation into a whole new era. Yeah, for real. Like, some of you, again, like, you've had a very rough past for some of you. And it made you very, like, into a very deep thinker, very smart because of whatever you've been through. And I think you have this ability to think very deeply and think of things from different angles. You might even come across as a little bit indecisive at times because you're open to new information, which just makes you smarter. And I don't know, I feel as though, like, if you felt in any way like maybe like a troubled past was so unfair to you, something like that, I want you to start looking at it as like your power in some way. Like, as an example, this doesn't have to be, you don't have to resonate with this, but in my perspective, people who are born into, like, either, I would say, I guess, people who are born into more abusive households instantly kind of have a better intuition. Just because, And I mean, it's not for the best reasons. It's because they needed to monitor their parents' emotions to kind of judge whether they're safe or not. A lot of worrying about what other people are thinking for your own safety. It kind of strengthens your intuition, although it's not really the nicest experience. I think that brought you a lot of depth. I think you have a very strong intuition. I think you have a very good judge of character, a very good sense of judgment, like in general. Like, you're probably right more often than not about things. And again, for those of you, if you felt like your past, if you've had a rough past, was so unfair to you, I want you to start thinking of it as like it was a gift to you. Because although it was very difficult to go through, you're at a level that many people will never get to in life. And so it does make sense that some people are not going to be able to see things from your perspective because maybe they don't have the same experience as you. And again, like this sort of like seeds of transformation into a whole new era coming very quickly with the Eight of Wands. Yeah, I do feel like there's like a lot of positive karma coming your way, a lot of sort of positive energy coming your way, possibly for some of you, positive communication coming your way, people thanking you for speaking up or sharing your perspective, people learning from you, this feeling of like more peace within your connections, also from walking away from people who just can't see things from the perspective that you see them. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's basically it for your reading. Those are your messages. I feel like, again, like I told pile 1, I don't know if I'm the best at doing like encouraging messages because I don't do a lot of like gassing people up. But pile 4, I would gas you up. Like, this is an energy that it may not sound like it, but I'm definitely gassing you up in this reading, and it's well deserved. I don't ever do that. Like, I'm very hard to impress, and you guys have me impressed, pile 4, so I don't know, you guys are definitely like more advanced than most people. And yeah, so just keep that in mind, that yeah, some people may not be at your level to see things from your perspective. They might not have the experience that you have, and it's okay. You don't have to convince them. They may not see it regardless. So I don't know, that's basically your message, pile 4. I hope it was encouraging for you to listen to, but thank you for watching. And that's it for me, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the last pile. Bye. Okay, pile 5. You guys are my last pile. Hi, hope you guys are doing well. So you guys chose the chicken wing crystal. Somebody said it looked like a chicken wing, so ever since then it just makes me think that this is the chicken wing crystal. It's apophyllite. But yeah, let's take a look at your cards, see what the encouraging message is for you. So I don't know, I think I'm going to do your reading a little bit differently than the other ones, because with the other piles, so I shuffled out these piles days ago, possibly a week ago. I don't think it was more than that, but it's enough time for me to kind of like forget what came out. Though I was at work today and I was thinking, like, I didn't pull many cards for this reading. I didn't want it to be super long, but I figured, like, why don't we shuffle some songs for each pile and see like what comes out, and they can just choose to watch the like the song or look into the song if they want to kind of serve as like additional messages. And to be honest with you, after I was like shuffling out some songs, I was like, do I really want to do this? I don't know. Maybe I won't add the songs, maybe I will. And then for pile 5, the song that shuffled for you guys like gave me like the most like violent flashback to your reading, because like it is so perfect. And because it's so perfect, I was like, no, I'm keeping these songs even if it's a little bit confusing or something like that for some of the piles, because your pile is like, you have a really good pile. So we'll just get into it. So, okay, we have the Six of Cups. Honestly, this pile kind of scares me because this is like messages that I almost never want to be giving. But it is what came out in your reading, so I guess we have to talk about it. So we got the Six of Cups. We have the Two of Cups. Okay, because yeah, like for some of you, it's like, like if you know me as a reader, I definitely don't encourage waiting in connections or waiting for someone to finally choose you or something like that. And I think there's a lot of tarot readings focused around those types of things. Like I'm kind of tired of hearing this whole like they're waiting for the right time bullshit. No, they're not. If they wanted you, they would be going after you type of thing. So I don't know, maybe part of the reason why I'm talking about this is like, for some of you, it may be the case that there's a need to kind of walk away from those types of readings or those types of messages. But for most of you, it's going to be the message that I'm like reluctant to share, which is a very positive message. So you also have the Emperor. What? Like, again, like me as a reader, I don't vibe with the twin flame concept because I think it encourages codependency, and more often than not, it is not a good situation, and I don't believe that that's their twin flame. Just being blunt and honest. But like this reading gives like twin flame vibes. Like the Six of Cups, the Emperor card, like divine masculine energy, and the Two of Cups. Now, I'm going to say it, like, if you've been waiting around for someone to come back to you for ages, I wouldn't hope for that. But, you know, depending on how detached you are from that outcome, I don't know, that might be something that's coming your way for some of you. Like, there's the Six of Cups, which is like a reconnection to the past. And with the Two of Cups, that's like a past connection re-emerging. And the Emperor card kind of representing this, like, I guess, divine masculine energy. It definitely feels very, like, I guess, twin flame-ish if we're, like, you know, really thinking about, like, the spiritual community and, like, what these cards kind of represent together. So, yeah, Emperor energy, that's Aries energy. Yeah, I don't know. I want to start off by saying, like, if you've been waiting forever for somebody, stop waiting for them. They may come back. Maybe this reading is suggesting that that happens, but don't, you know, like, move on with your life. Like, find new connections that are willing to give to you and things like that, and, like, actually showing up and being present in your life, because I think a lot of those types of readings, again, encourages, like, settling for connections that aren't picking you, they're not choosing you, and I don't believe that if someone wants something, they're not going to go after it. Even if people have like a lot of excuses for why they shouldn't enter into a relationship, those excuses go right into the drain as soon as they find someone they're really interested in. Those excuses don't matter anymore. They want it. Like, you're not going to convince me that someone wants something and they're not going after it. At least they don't want it that bad, in my opinion. So enough with that, like, lecture about that. Because I do want to say, like, for those of you who are really into that concept, I'm not going to promise that that's happening. But for most of you, like the message here is that there's a connection here. Two of Cups, that's like mutual feelings, feeling close with someone, having a deep bond with someone. This could be like a masculine energy coming in that you will have a deep connection with, and perhaps being able to explore, like, show them your past or something like that. Like, that would be like, this person would be interested in what you used to do as a child, or they would be interested in your childhood, or they would be interested in going to see where you used to live, something like that. For some of you, this could be like, a lot of the times I think of the Six of Cups as like, yeah, like, so for some of you, it could be like a past person coming back, like a, like sort of like reconciliation type of energy, and feeling closer with that person, feeling like a mutual bond with them. Sorry, I'm like kind of feeling bad about my first like speech that I gave in this reading. This is meant to be an encouraging reading, but I don't know, I just can't encourage people to stay stuck on someone who, again, is not prioritizing them or not choosing them. I would never encourage that. So I just wanted to like get that out there and then move on to like what this reading is actually kind of saying, which is like, again, like this very nice connection coming your way. For some of you, you could already be in a connection with this person. And again, there's this like energy of exploring each other's past or something like that, having very like maybe deep conversations about, you know, I guess your past. And like, and this would be someone, again, who's like curious about your past, wants to know more about you, wants to maybe know everything about you. Yeah, for some of you, if you're already in a relationship with this person, this is like feeling more connected with them. The Emperor represents someone who is stable, someone who's mature, someone who's responsible, someone who is a leader. They take leadership. So this would be someone who does, again, take like initiative, reaches out to you, wants to connect with you, actively does those things. And even the Emperor could kind of like be like a authority figure or like a father figure. So this could be, for some of you, like the future father to your kids or parent to your kids. And yeah, I also feel like this is a connection that has like a youthful energy to it. Like your inner childs can come out to play with each other and you have fun with each other. You joke with each other. Yeah, and like having fun and connecting. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so your song that you got, Pile 5. That's not the song, that's your pile. But Pile 5. The song you got is Are We in Love Yet by Moonbew. That's probably how maybe it's pronounced. But yeah, I don't know. As soon as that song came up for your pile, like violent flashback to your pile. And I remember initially shuffling out this pile and being like so shocked that these were the cards that came out. And I was like, everybody would want this reading. I feel like most people watching tarot readings would love to get a reading like this. So I do feel like you guys are very lucky. Yeah, this Are We in Love Yet fits perfectly with this energy. Yeah, there's someone around you that very clearly shows interest in you, wants to get to know you on a deep level, wants to know about your past and, you know, where you come from, those types of things, what you used to enjoy as a kid or something. Would love to see your baby pictures, something like that. Yeah, this seems like someone who really cares about you. For some of you, you know, I think for most of you, this is about like a love relationship coming in, or perhaps an existing love relationship that is feeling more connected. Perhaps someone making better decisions within a relationship. And yeah, so the song Are We in Love Yet? The reason why that song is on my playlist, because naturally I probably wouldn't find a song like that on my own and decide to add it to my playlist on my own. It was a friend who showed it to me. I guess I'll kind of talk about it. Maybe it relates to some of you, but like, it was a friendship connection where we joked a lot together. We did a lot of like playful sort of flirting in a joking way, like that you do with friends. And it got to a point where it became a little bit difficult to tell if they were joking still or if they were kind of being serious. And then they played me that song too, which, I mean, the whole time I basically took it as like, we're just friends. It's not like, if there is any interest, it's not very deep or something like that. Which, looking back, I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know if someone would really do all that if they didn't see potential or something like that. So it could be that kind of energy that comes your way where you have like a close connection with someone. It's very playful, it's kind of flirty, and it's like you're wondering, are they serious? Are they in love with me? Are we in love yet? Type of energy. And then for some of you, like, it could honestly be a friend. I think that's not for many of you. If in the case, like, you're not interested in romantic relationships coming to this reading, then I think this might be like, it could be a past friend coming back, and reconnecting with a past friend. This could also be a new friend coming in that reminds you of a past friend. Yeah, because I think I kind of skipped over that. Because sometimes the Six of Cups for me is like just this feeling of like you feel familiar to me. So this could be a new connection like coming in that makes you feel like, oh, like you remind me of someone. And it's almost this feeling of like you feel like you know them when you like in actuality you've just met them, so you don't really know them, but they might remind you of someone. So it feels like you kind of already know them on some level. Or there's this feeling like, oh yeah, we would just get along. Okay, so I'm going to pull some last few card messages, some oracle messages, magical messages from the universe, and see what wants to come out for you guys. So for pile 5, what's their message? What do they need to know? Oh, this just came out in the last pile. It might be time to mess around in the portal of transformation and wait, no, this didn't even come out in any of the piles. I saw transformation. There's a lot of cards here talking about portals and transformation, so that's my bad, that didn't come out. But yeah, okay. Mess around in the portal of transformation and see what's unveiled. What else wants to come out for pile 5? Let's see. Life can get hard, but remember that blessings are all around. There are tiny miracles everywhere. What does pile 5 need to know? Okay. Practice becoming who you deserve to be. The ego will try to resist. Evolve anyway. Okay. Funny messages. So one thing, as well as I encourage never waiting around for someone who's, not pursuing you, I also encourage my viewers to be independent thinkers and not blindly follow the things that I say. And that might be the case for some of you. Like with the Emperor, there with practice becoming who you deserve to be, the ego will try to resist. Evolve anyway. So I feel like it's more like my ego, to be honest, to kind of give that sort of message. And it could be that for some of you, it's important for you to not like listen to what I say, as far as like, everybody's allowed to have their own beliefs. Just because I'm not a fan of the twin flame idea doesn't mean my viewers have to not be a fan of it either. Like, I am perfectly okay with, getting along with people who think differently than me and see things from different perspectives than me. So for some of you, like the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the Emperor card could imply this sort of twin flame energy that is, they say is like finally ready to, like they've healed and they're ready to come back. Again, I hate giving that message because I just don't want to encourage codependency and waiting around for someone who's not proactively like choosing you and prioritizing you. But I'm not going to sit here and think like or say that it's like impossible for something like that to happen, because it's not. People come back all the time, people reemerge from the past often, and that could be something that is coming for you, and that could be someone that you once like saw potential in when it comes to a relationship. For some of you though, like that, I don't think there's much here about like, I guess, a twin flame energy. For some of you, like, and probably for a few of you, you could already be in a relationship with this person, and there could have been some struggle in the connection with that person recently. Just because with the Two of Cups we have, life can be hard, but remember that blessings are all around. There are tiny miracles everywhere. So for those of you who are like more with the like sort of twin flame vibe, it's like maybe they've been absent recently, or there's been challenges in the connection because, I guess like the twin flame concept is that, both of you need to heal things within yourself in order to like come back together as one type of thing. So yeah, it could be like that life can get hard, and there's been a relationship in your life that has been through obstacles and challenges. But I think this is a message to reassure you that something good is coming your way within a connection. That blessings are all around. Tiny miracles are everywhere. And there might be a feeling of being able to notice that within a connection more potently, something like that. Yeah, for some of you it's like you might be in a connection with this person already, and there's been some like sort of troubles, some struggles within the connection, or challenges, things getting hard within a connection. And I feel like if you resonate with that, you're in a connection right now and things been kind of difficult, although you do have a strong bond with this person. I feel like there's like advice coming through with the Six of Cups to reconnect to the past in some way. Like maybe consider being more curious about your partner's past in some way. Or like, I feel like, I don't know, there's like an encouragement to connect more deeply with your partner in a more like youthful type of way, a more childlike type of way, maybe to bring more fun into the connection, because it suggests that like, yeah, like it might be time to mess around in the portal of transformation and see what's unveiled. So it's like, give this a chance, reconnect to the past. And maybe for some of you there's like an encouragement to reach out to someone from your past, and that things could go pretty well with that person. Because I also feel as though there, with this Emperor energy, it could be that you've been a little bit disappointed with the way someone's been acting in a connection. And it's like with practice becoming who you deserve to be with the Emperor energy, which is like this very like powerful energy, someone to be noticed, someone who's a leader. Someone who's responsible. So I feel like if you felt like maybe a partner was irresponsible, that they're learning to become more responsible, maybe learning to become more confident, more of a leader. Maybe this is someone who's trying to work on, I guess maybe being more of a leader in your connection and taking more initiative in your connection. And maybe there's been a little bit of struggle with ego with someone that you're in a partnership with. I see those things getting better. And I feel like something coming through is like, I don't know, something connected to your past, I feel like could kind of help bring you and someone closer together. Whether that's like taking a trip to where you used to live to kind of show them like, your old hometown or something like that, or showing interest in their past in some way to create like a deeper and closer connection, as well as like having a more playful and childlike type of fun energy within your connection, and seeing kind of like how that transforms your connection and brings like a more positive energy and a feeling of being closer with that person. So I think that's what I got for you guys, pile 5. I feel like this reading took me on a roller coaster, so I might have taken you guys on a roller coaster. I'm sorry for that. But hopefully you got the messages you need out of this reading, and you weren't, for those of you who, are more of that like sort of like twin flame vibe. Again, no judgment, even if I don't agree with it. It's just because I don't want to encourage waiting around for someone, again, like what I've said, basically. You know what I'm trying to get at. But some of you, like, it's important for you to not take that message seriously and kind of just stick to what you believe and what you think, and not be swayed by the things that I say. So yeah, I hope this message was encouraging. That was my intention. So if I didn't, fulfill that, I'm very sorry. I'm trying my best. I don't know if I'm like the best at these types of readings, but I do like to give good news. I don't know if readings that only give good news are very accurate, to be honest, because I don't think that's realistic. But I'm gonna stop talking, stop rambling. Thank you for watching, and that is it from me. I'd love to have you back for a future reading, but if not, have a great day or night whenever you're watching. And I'm going to leave you here. Bye.